Hello, today I will be giving a recap about The Boy and the Beast, an action-adventure fantasy film aired in 2015. The movie starts with an explanation about a world of beasts. In this world, beastmen thrive and they train in the way of the warrior to become an incarnation of a god. Before becoming a god, a beastman must first become a great master. After the explanation, we see a little boy in the middle of the busy Shibuya crossing, staring blankly. This boy is our main protagonist, Ren. He just ran away from his soon-to-be guardians. He runs from corner to corner with no direction until he comes upon a small white mouse in a narrow alley. He named it Chico. He fed the mouse and Ren formed a bond with it. Unknowingly, Ren left a shadow apparition of himself as he was filled with hate. One night, as he was crouched down on the sidewalk, a group of two hooded individuals were bickering about finding a disciple. The hooded individual promptly lifted Ren's face, and when Ren saw the furry face with dark eyes and sharp fangs, Ren was scared to his soul. The beastman then invited him to go with them, but the other hooded figure dragged the beastman away. Ren managed to escape and ran, when suddenly the corner of his eyes caught a glimpse of the hooded figures he was chasing. He followed them into a dark alley, and when he noticed it, he was in a maze-like place. He walked in circles, always ending up in the same place he found himself, until a horse beastman pushed him out of the alley and into the Animal Heaven district. Ren witnessed a new world, the world of the beastmen, but he got scared and tried to turn back only to find the entrance blocked. But he was picked up by three wolf beastmen. The three discussed peeling his skin and selling him. Ren was saved by a pig beastman who introduced himself as Yakushubo and offered to take him back into the human world. Kumatetsu, a bear beastman and also one of the successors to become the Great Master, appeared along with Tatara, a monkey beastman. Kumatetsu brought Ren back to his home to become his disciple. Kumatetsu asked Ren what his name was, but the boy didn't want to tell him. Kumatetsu eventually asked for his age, and Ren answered 9. After hearing his age, Kumatetsu named the boy Kyuta, a name derived from his age. The next morning, Kumatetsu and Ren quarreled. Ren ran away to find the exit again. He ended up in the market where he first encountered Ichiro Hiko and Jiro Maru, the two sons of the other successor, Iyozen, a boar beastman. Kumatetsu ended up fighting Iyozen in the plaza. Iyozen was wary of humans because of the darkness in their hearts, but Kumatetsu didn't listen. During their fight, Kumatetsu was pushing Iyozen back when suddenly the crowd cheered for Iyozen. Ren was shocked because no one was cheering for Kumatetsu, and he felt that Kumatetsu was alone just like himself, so he cheered for him. In the end, Kumatetsu still lost. The current Great Master, a rabbit beastman, appeared and allowed Kumatetsu to take Ren, a human, as a disciple. The next day, Kumatetsu taught Ren how to swing a sword, but Ren couldn't understand his instructions. Later that night, the master and disciple got into a fight again. The Great Master once more advised Kumatetsu to take Ren and meet different masters who will teach them about different meanings of power. Ren, Kumatetsu, along with Yakushubo and Tatara, traveled to meet these masters. Once they got back, Ren tried to imitate Kumatetsu's feet movement during his daily chores. Time passed and Ren got proficient at imitating Kumatetsu without even watching him and only by listening to the sound of his feet. One day, Ren challenged Kumatetsu into a fight and won. Ren asked to be taught how to use his fist and sword. In exchange, Ren will teach Kumatetsu how to read feet movements. Time passed and the two became closer and stronger. After 8 years, Ren is now 17, and he's also become taller and stronger. During lunch, Ren and Kumatetsu argued about Ren's training. Ren ran from home again, and by luck ended up in the exit. He came back to the human world and went to a library to read. He asked the girl beside him how to read a word, and the girl taught him. The girl who taught him confronted some high schoolers because they were being loud in the library. Same day that night, the girl was ambushed by the high schoolers, but Ren saved her. She introduced herself as Kaide. Ren and Kaide begin to meet in the morning to learn, while at night, Ren will return home to the Animal Heaven district to sleep and train. One morning, Kaide opened up to Ren about her problem. She then brought Ren to apply for a scholarship so he could go to a university. Unfortunately, Ren doesn't have the qualification, but a kind teacher told him that there was still a chance. Ren got the address of his father and went to see him, but he wasn't there. On his way back, he heard a man's voice and recognized who it belonged to immediately. He asked the man if he remembers him, but the man had no idea. Dejected, he was about to return when suddenly the man, his father, asked if his name was Ren. The father and son shared a long hug after. Ren found out that his father only found out that his mother passed away after a long while after the accident. His father also did not stop looking for him, even when the police said it was impossible. Ren and Kaide talked about what he will do about his master in school, and some of Kaide's friends asked if Ren was her boyfriend. Ren went back home to the Beastman world, and he was confronted by his master about the book he found under Ren's bed. Ren tried to have a discussion with Kumatetsu, but Kumatetsu was stubborn and didn't listen to his words. In the end, Ren told him that he found his father and that he would go with him. Kumatetsu became harsher towards his other disciples because Ren left. Hyaku, Shubo, and Tatara talked about how Kumatetsu wanted to become Ren's parent, but he failed. He wanted to fill the hole in Ren's heart, but now he can't. As Ren was walking home with his father, the duo talked about starting over. But Ren became furious because his father wanted him to forget the pain he felt in the past. Ren felt like his father didn't know enough about him to start saying things like that. So he got angry and realized that the one who truly understood him was his master, and started wandering around. He eventually came across the shadow silhouette he left as a child, and when he saw that there was a hole in its chest, he felt scared. The silhouette disappeared, but when he looked at his reflection in the mirror, he saw the same hole in his chest. He screamed and ran as he became paranoid. He met up with Kaide a few minutes later, and he started asking her if she knew what he was. He cornered Kaide and shouted at her with a deep growl in his voice. Kaide slapped him and hugged him after. She told him that it was okay, and she gave him her favorite red bookmark, telling him that it's a charm that will help him if ever he felt anxious again. Ren returned to the Beastman world and saw that it was very festive. Jiromaru saw him and invited him to his house and explained that tomorrow was the ceremonial day. The next great master was about to be picked between Kumatetsu and Iozen. As he was about to go, a few floating rocks suddenly swept past him. Ichiro Hiko suddenly dashed and punched him in the gut, disabling him. Ichiro Hiko proceeded to kick him when he was down. As he was losing consciousness, he saw the same hole he saw in his reflection manifesting itself on Ichiro Hiko. In the stadium, Kumatetsu entered gloomily. After the rules were announced, Kumatetsu and Iozen fought. Kumatetsu immediately used everything he got and planned to finish the fight as fast as possible, but it didn't work. Iozen was very calm, and on the other hand, Kumatetsu was very impatient. Eventually, Kumatetsu got knocked down, and as the count reached 9, Ren shouted at him to get up and fight. The two bickered, but in the end, Kumatetsu broke Iozen's sword sheath and sent his sword flying, which embedded itself in the chair of the current Great Master. Kumatetsu knocked Iozen down with a punch, and that decided the match. As Kumatetsu was announced as the next Great Master of the Animal Heaven District, Iozen's sword, which was on the previous Grand Master's chair, disappeared. And when it appeared, it was already stabbed on Kumatetsu's back. Ichiro Hiko's laugh reverberated as he controlled the sword using telekinesis and pronounced that he had defeated Kumatetsu using his father's sword, so his father should be the winner. Ren's eyes turned red as he succumbed to his hate and anger. The same hole manifested on his chest. His sword flew out of its sheath and was about to pierce Ichiro Hiko in the face when Chico, the white mouse, distracted him and brought his attention to the red bookmark Kaide gave him. The sword stopped inches away from Ichiro Hiko's face and dropped down as Ren regained his senses. The next scene, Ren woke up beside Kumatetsu, who was lying in bed. He heaved a sigh of relief when he saw that Kumatetsu was breathing. In another room, Iyozen was apologizing to the Great Master because he kept Ichirohiko's identity a secret. It turns out Ichirohiko is also a human like Ren, and Iyozen found him as a baby, abandoned in an alley. He then decided to raise him as his son, confident that darkness will not shroud its heart. Ren decided to confront Ichirohiko on his own, but before he left, he thanked Hyaku Shubo and Tatara for raising him. The two sent him off, telling him not to worry about Kumatetsu. Ren went back to the human world and called Kaide to give her his favorite book and thank her as well as he says his goodbye. But suddenly, Ichirohiko appeared and attacked them. He and Ren dueled with their sword, and Ren managed to disarm him. But when he attacked, Ichirohiko blocked it, and then his arm transformed into a giant blue hand as the two ran to escape. Meanwhile, Ichirohiko picked up the book that Ren gave to Kaide and read the word whale. He then turned into a shadow of a whale as he swam on the ground. CCTV camera only sees Ichirohiko in this human form, walking while bystanders saw a whale. He chased after Ren and Kaide, and he eventually managed to corner him. In a last attempt to stop Ichirohiko, Ren opened the hole in his chest, and he intended to swallow Ichirohiko inside it. All was going according to plan, when suddenly a sword flew down and stopped him from swallowing Ichirohiko. The sword was Kumatetsu. He begged the Grand Master to let him incarnate first, and he chose to incarnate as the sword in Ren's heart. He wanted to fill the hole in his disciple's heart to help him not get consumed by darkness, and together they managed to sever the darkness from Ichirohiko. In the end, Ichirohiko returned to normal and woke up to find the red bookmark wrapped in his wrist. Kaide managed to visit the Animal Heaven Kingdom to return the book Ren gave her, and together they returned to the human world, where Ren was reunited with his father, and since then he never held a sword again. That's all for today's anime recap. Comment down below what other movies you'd like me to review next. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up along the way. Until next time!